Welcome, Will Baumbach, to Life on the Rock. It's good to have you here to talk about Fraternus, organization that I'm involved in here in Birmingham, and you're involved in for the last, what, 2.5 years. So, you know, let's talk a little bit about what Fraternus is. Just let's give us some of the principles of Fraternus. First of all, brotherhood. I think Fraternus means brotherhood. Yeah. You know, what does it mean to be a part of Fraternus for you as a young man in high school? You're a graduate now. You just graduated, going into college to Auburn. So let's talk about, you know, what Fraternus means in your life.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, so Fraternus is Latin for brotherhood, you know, and it's really just a coming together, I guess. So me personally, as a convert to Catholicism, you know, about 5 years ago, Fraternus was a way for me to meet guys that were trying to do the same stuff that I was doing in my faith. You know, that I for the first time I had guys that I could pray the rosary with, that I could, you know, talk about the Mass with, talk about, you know, doctrine with. And then it's just a time in the week where you can kind of, you know, set aside this time and said, okay, I'm going to go with my brothers here, and we're going to, you know, have this fellowship, this bond, and try to make each other better, and try to make each other more devout in our faith, more virtuous.
Do you sense in the culture just a hostility of you know, the culture kind of pushing against, you know, young men to be who you really are supposed to be? You know, kind of in every way, you know, whether it's from TV or internet, do you sense like the culture pushing back at you?
Oh, for sure. I mean, I think, you know, the culture is always going to promote the easiest thing to do. It's easy to, you know, not be virtuous, to be lazy around the house, to be a bad brother, a bad son, a bad friend, you know, to not be practicing. You know, it's not cool to practice your faith and be devout as a, you know, young teenager. But Fraternus is the exact opposite. It's a way that, you know, we're all pushing each other to succeed more in virtue and to become better people, I guess.
Now, you mentioned about being a good son, about being a good brother. You know, talk about that for, you know, just briefly. You know, what does it mean to be a good son? What have you learned from Fraternus? How does Fraternus, the principles that you have learned, how has that helped you to be a better son? Yeah,
okay, so, you know, Fraternus, it's open to fathers and sons. So my dad and I go together, and a lot of dads go. A lot of guys who don't even have sons there go just because they want to, you know, be a part of the mentorship. They want to reach out to the younger age boys and help them become men, or they also want to be mentored by the other men there. So yeah, I guess, you know, it's about, you know, I get to go there and see my dad practically practice his faith, and, you know, he sees me doing it too, and so we're kind of, you know, pushing each other to be better, I guess. But it's also at the same time, I see other dads doing it. I see other sons doing it. So it's like we're not alone in the walk almost. And I've got, you know, this a great camaraderie of brothers that are challenging me to be better, to be, you know, better in what I'm doing.
So you see your dad's need, or how he's being mentored in this whole process.
Oh, for
sure. When your dad goes to these meetings, okay, you're going to these meetings to be mentored. But I think what happened is, and this is kind of something that I came out of Fraternus with the first couple of years, is that I think we all thought that, okay, this is going to be a program to mentor young boys, okay? But I think now, going into our 3rd year, we're all beginning to see that this is just as much as for the men as it is for the boys, because the men need to be mentored too. You know, we need to be brothers to one another too, and that's something that I've seen, you know, in just interacting, going each week to these meetings, and seeing how we all need to be brothers to one another.
Yeah, because I mean, the dads are in the trenches too. You know, they're fighting to be better husbands, better fathers, and they need camaraderie too. They need that brotherhood too, to where they can reach out to other dads and say, you know, hey, I need help with this. Hey, I'm struggling with this. You know, what should I do? Will you pray with me? Will you pray rosary with me? You know, they need the brothership just as much as we do, as the boys do, and, you know, it's just really cool to see how it all kind of works out and plays out.
How does the mentorship work at Fraternus?
Right. So we have kind of a wide range of ages there. So it's 5th graders all the way up to, we got, you know, dads and even grandfathers showing up. You know? So it's a wide range ages there, and so with the boys, boys can mentor to younger boys, as the oldest group, the seniors and juniors, they can mentor to the freshmen and sophomores and get them prepared to lead the group, to lead the squad, you know what I mean, and then you've also got the dads and the captains leading the boys. And so it just kind of trickles down to where everyone's pushing each other to be better and to be, a better man, a better Catholic man.
What are some of the topics that you talk about in these meetings, like the squads?
Yeah.
I mean, just give me an idea of some of the grades, but most especially what you talked about in these meetings.
Yeah. So we have the squad times, which is broken up by age. So we'll have 11th and 12th graders together, 9th and 10th, 7th and 8th, 5th and 6th. They're all together. And we'll have a couple captains leading. Captains are men that are there serving us, trying to mentor us. And we have a book we go through that the Fraternus National program gives out to us. And every couple weeks we have different virtues that we go through. So for about a month we'll go through faith, and then hope, and then charity. And we're going through all of these and we talk about how to practice them in our real world situations, how to practice them at home. So, if we're going over charity, okay, how can I be more charitable to my family, to my mom, to my sisters? How can I be more loving to them and show them the virtue of charity? How can I grow in this, in a practical way, I guess?
Yeah. I think next we'll talk about, the excursion. What does the excursion mean? Yeah. And ranch and all of the things, all the activities that we do in Fraternus to really bring about a greater culture, a greater brotherhood, and for you guys to be good sons, good fathers.